I made sure to enjoy every single bite because I spent a solid $17.79 after the tip. What's up, everyone? Today's video, I wanted to talk about my last couple days, how I broke my streak of not going to the movie theater a little early because apparently Thunderbolts was that good. And while I think that online movie critic overhyped it just a little, it was worthwhile. It was also better than most of the other Marvel garbage compared to what I heard Captain America Brave New World was like. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't plan on seeing it. But I digress. Anyway, more importantly, I had an eye exam the first time in almost 4 years. So that's why it says 4 years since an eye exam, 4 months since going to the theater, or whatever order I put in. I'm rounding up to 4 years for that, even though it's 3 3/4 of a year, because my last time was in August of 2021. But anyway, before I detail what happened over the last few days, give this video a like, subscribe for daily videos, and comment whether you go to the optometrist as often as you should. Or don't. It's your business. Medical records are confidential for a reason. Anyway, it all began about a week ago now, because my grandmother was in the hospital twice, last I heard, which my mom suspects was likely because she was using an older pair of glasses. She lost her most recent pair and was using a much older one. That's all I'm going to say about that situation. But it got me thinking, maybe I should consider getting my eyes checked, just in case. So, since my therapist is out of office this week, I decided to look into seeing what my health insurance could do with optometrists. Find an optometrist that takes my health insurance. I found one that did, that also happened to be near the movie theater, so I decided, hey, why not go to do this on Tuesday, and then I can go straight to see Thunderbolts. So, I signed up for the patient portal and did everything else I had to set up the appointment and such. After which, I went and walked all the way up to the eye doctor. I decided to do more time to walks on Apple Fitness Plus. I think that's part of the reason that I'm really tired right now, is because yesterday I walked about almost 6 miles in total, according to my watch. Because I walked all the way to the eye doctor, then I walked to the movie theater, and then I walked home from there. And along the way, I came across a weird creature I saw that I photographed. I'll throw a picture of it up there. But according to Apple Intelligence, it was possibly an invasive species for Massachusetts. So after I researched the creature and found out what it was or what it might be, I don't know, I didn't get a good look at it. I only caught a picture of it from behind. I only knew that it might be something like that because of Apple Intelligence. So yeah, that also ties into something that happened last week when I tried sitting outside in my backyard to play video games. One, bugs kept on showing up on me, distracting me from my video game. And two, a wild turkey decided to walk through my yard, which alarmed me, which those two incidents have made me realize I get really nervous around wildlife for some reason. Maybe it's because I know that if it bites me, I'm probably going to be forced to get a rabies shot, according to Malcolm in the Middle. That's what they do unless they can confirm that the animal in question doesn't have rabies. And then there's also a gruesome description of what happens with a rabies shot that I'm not gonna horrify you with. But anyway, I got to the eye doctor. I'd filled out all the stuff I needed to on the patient portal, which, why does Aaron Clary have such a problem with patient portals? They are very useful. I was able to fill out everything I needed to. I'll admit I also called the place multiple times over the course of Saturday while I was setting all that up because I wanted to have everything ready to go. So I checked in, found out my total cost with insurance would be $57 for the copay and the machine they use to get to photograph the inside of my eyes. So I went in, started a little late for whatever reason. I'm not going to take it personally because I had time to kill. My planned show time was the 1 o'clock show of Thunderbolts. So I went through the whole thing. I brought up visual disturbances in relation to my anxiety, which is why the eye doctor insisted on dilating my pupils, which I was a little hesitant about because I wanted to make sure I could enjoy Thunderbolts to its fullest. Again, this is the first time I went to the movie theater in over 4 months. But being a mature and responsible adult, I hadn't bought the ticket yet. I knew I could wait until the 4 p.m. show if it came down to that, if I really felt that strongly about it, but I knew I had to trust the doctor's judgment, so I accepted in letting her dilate my pupils. Long story short, my glasses are perfectly fine for the time being because we don't need to. My eyes changed so minimally since 2021 that honestly, it would probably be a waste of money to buy a new prescription. I mean, to be clear, I was not feeling the dizziness that my grandmother had. I just thought it might not be a bad idea. Not to mention, I'm paying good money for my health insurance. And since I wasn't going to therapy this week, I thought, why not just do this week so I don't have to consolidate multiple appointments into Wednesday. I even made an appointment for next year already because I want to stay ahead. And if I'm still in therapy on Wednesdays, I am probably going to move it to 1 week after the 1 year anniversary of this year's eye exam because that will happen to fall on a Wednesday. I'll figure out more about that later. But long story short, I was a good sport bringing my sunglass attachment for my glasses so I could walk over to the movie theater after the eye exam. I paid the $57 and I used the walk to the movie theater to decide, am I just gonna hang out at the mall until my pupils go back to normal and I can go to the 4 o'clock show of Thunderbolts? Or should I just go for the 1 o'clock show so I can walk home while the sun is still out? Well, it was an extremely cloudy day, so honestly, wasn't really, you know what I mean. I'd have daylight. So yeah, I walked up to the movie theater, decided to go to the 1 o'clock show of Thunderbolts. Now we can get into the story of my return to the movie theater, which felt pretty glorious because the guy who usually works at the slider bar, as it's called, he recognized me and I was like, "Yay, long time no see." Now, to get my money's worth for the meal I simply got, I forget the name of it, but it was definitely a kind of a pair of sliders with regular French fries because I have tater tots at home and their fried pickles and their boom boom sauce, which let me see how much they are on Amazon. A gallon of Ken's boom boom sauce costs $45. So yeah, I'm not gonna spring for that anytime soon. God, I'm gonna have to save up quite a bit for that. But getting back on topic, I enjoyed the sliders that I could not have made at home because you know how I feel about spending money at restaurants. But I will say, I did not experience any sort of degrade in quality like when I went to the other restaurant. I made sure to enjoy every single bite because I spent a solid $17.79 after the tip. Worth it. So yeah, the way that I restrained myself from overspending like I did in the past was I chose not to get a milkshake. I chose to just get a cup of tap water that I would drink in very small doses for the sake of making sure that I didn't choke on anything. or in case I ate too fast, which when I go see Mission Impossible 8, I am definitely going to make sure to slow down and enjoy the sliders even more just because I'll have spent enough money that I could have bought a 4-pack of beef patties. Okay, off the top of my head, I know it wouldn't be enough for the rest of the ingredients for the buns, but if I have the ingredients for the buns, that's what matters. That's all I'd have to pay for that. And the cheese. So yeah, there was that. It was good to catch up with movie theater bartender is what we'll call him from here. And then while I was waiting for the 30-minute warning from my phone for the movie, which I had bought the ticket for and used 2 reward dollars to bring it down to $5 for that ticket because Bargain Tuesday, premium format, and 3D. And a really strange thing I noticed whenever I tried using my phone or my watch was it was a lot easier for me to read the text on the screen without my glasses than with them on, but only for that period of time. After, what was it? Oh yeah, before I went in for the movie, I called the town to let them know about the Nutria sighting, and I sent them my pictures and the coordinates from the geotag on the metadata for the pictures that showed exactly where I saw it so that, I don't know, they can do what they gotta do. I don't know, the whole reason I reported it was so that I wouldn't have to do anything else. Not that I really could, but if there's an invasive species around here, I think it's best to report it to the town. So, after getting that out of my system, I went and scanned my ticket with the box office worker, and then went to the concession stand and got my small popcorn and my 20-ounce Dasani water bottle, which mercifully had not gone up in price since my birthday. So I got my popcorn and my water bottle. I added the movie theater butter to it for the sake of just comparing what I usually do, which is at home I melt a stick of butter in a pot and then I pour it over a hand towel and then through a strainer, which filters out the parts that make popcorn soggy if you just melt the butter and then pour it on the popcorn. And then, well, after that, I just sat down to enjoy the movie, except that the 3D effect was a little off. It just wouldn't focus properly. It didn't feel like the 3D that it should have because, well, last time I saw a movie in 3D was Avatar 2. But I knew something was off because of the way things struggled to focus. To this day, and probably for the rest of time, I'm probably going to be torn between whether it was the eye drops or the projector, because I swear I saw someone leave the theater to, I guess, report the problem if it was a problem other people were having, but I don't know. I swear it was right after I wiped my eyes like that and then put my glasses and 3D glasses back on. Red Guardian came into clear focus and the 3D felt like what it was supposed to feel like. And I have to say, seeing the movie in X Plus and in 3D made me feel like, okay, this is exactly what theaters can do that watching a movie at home can't. Of course, there was a few seats down in my row who got a little chatty at some point. They were so far away, and the sound drowned them out enough that I didn't care. But hey, it's why I have the white noise machine at home so I can block out unwanted noise. Anyway, something else I really appreciated about the theater setting was the impact some of the sound effects had. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil Thunderbolts for any of you watching who care. But yeah, the theater experience was very immersive and it helped me come up with my new rule of thumb for movies I go see at the theater going forward. First of all, it has to be playing in X Plus and or 3D. Well, if it's not playing in 3D, if it's not playing in X Plus, it's definitely not playing in 3D. I mean, I know that 3D is still a little overrated, but it's really cool and it's something I can't do at home. So that's going to be what I aim for going forward. So I'm going to pull up my list of movies I plan to see at the theater because I almost fell into my old habit of double feature, taking advantage of both tickets. Long story short, I went down to just one ticket, one movie, one popcorn, one bottle of water, one set of sliders. All right, so my planned movie theater trips are Mission Impossible 8, Karate Kid Legends, Ballerina, Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, Tron Ares, Wicked for Good, and Avatar Fire and Ash. I think I'm just gonna add. I think I'm gonna add F1 back because why not? It's actually gonna be big screen worthy, as far as I can tell. Even though I know it's gonna be on Apple TV Plus, probably by the end of September, based on the usual pattern. Might take a little longer, like until November or December, but they'll be there because it's a co-production with Apple. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So basically, to sum up, rule of thumb for how to decide whether to go see a movie at the theater or wait for it to be available at home has to be playing in X Plus, and if it's playing in 3D, I'm going to spring for that because I can't do that at home. I'll admit, most of the auditoriums, most of the other screens, honestly, my TV experience feels close enough with my arrangement, but X Plus just can't be recreated at home at the moment. All right, and then after that, the other question is, oh, I could have sworn I wrote this down. Hold on. Oh yeah, visuals worthy of the big screen rather than just feeling like something that I could just enjoy at home. Which kind of ties into point one because if it's not showing in X Plus or 3D, and like obviously the visuals aren't a huge thing, like in terms of big screen spectacle. Like I'm more inclined towards big screen spectacle if it actually feels like I'll get my money's worth for that. So, this rule of thumb, I would not go see Baby Girl at the theater like I did on Christmas Day. But yeah, movies like the ones that I listed are the only ones I am going to bother with. And then finally, that's just my list, assuming someone else doesn't confirm for me that it is hot garbage. If someone else confirms that it's hot garbage, someone I trust, I'll either wait for it on PVOD or just strike it from the record. Like, what is it? I don't know why I have Jurassic World Rebirth on here. I feel like I should probably. I mean, it looks like it might be cool, but I'm a little on the fence about it. I guess if it's not confirmed to be a 5 or below from Online Movie Critic. Because Online Movie Critic gave Thunderbolts an 8 out of 10, and I was like, oh, I gotta go see this if it's that good. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it was a little overhyped. But this isn't a movie review channel. Anyway, I walked home after saying goodbye to movie theater bartender server. I did another time to walk where I walked home this time. And I was home by 5 p.m. I thought about making a big pizza for dinner, but I was like, I don't have the energy for this. I'm just gonna make another thing of pasta like I did the previous night. And then all I did after playing 3 hours of Majora's Mask, I watched the new episode of The Studio as soon as it dropped and then just logged that. And then I moved on. I went to sleep for the night, which I guess I'm not getting as good sleep as I should because I've been waking up earlier or not falling back asleep. And that's why I'm actually kind of tired right now. But yeah, I've got to do better on that. I decided to take today off from working out, and I can come back tomorrow. I'm gonna begin the final week of the strength program from Apple Fitness Plus, and then do a daily time to walk until I run out of time to walks to do. But anyway, to recap, eye exam was a nice little experience to figure out and confirm that I don't need new glasses at this moment in time, and set up a cycle of actually doing that on a regular basis, an annual basis. This way, I can get new glasses right away, and not have to rely on old ones. Movie theater, 4 months after my previous time there. Going back was a nice experience. It was good to see the people I know there. The movie was actually good, and I liked the experience of the premium format and 3D, which is definitely what I'm going to focus on going forward. Again, rule of thumb, if it's not playing in X Plus, I don't think I'm going to bother going out to see it because I get good enough, almost comparable picture quality compared to most of the other auditoriums at home. And the only noise I have to deal with is either my brother in the next room over on voice chat or people gallivanting around outside, which can be remedied with my white noise machine. So I'm still going to be selective about what I go see at the theater, but I am still going to go see anything that I consider worthwhile, assuming it's not confirmed to be hot garbage by anyone like online movie critics. So, gonna wrap it up there for the video. You let me know in the comments down below if anything you thought about this, whether you think I'm insane for walking multiple miles in mostly rainy weather. Well, it started downpouring when I got home, so at the risk of rainy weather. Give this video a like, subscribe for daily videos, and I'll see you soon.